Thank you for joining us. Up now, we have Marketing in the Metaverse, growing a virtual community around your brand. This session is being presented by MK Bedosky. MK?
Thank you. So I'm going to apologize now if I get really distracted by the absolutely adorable mascots walking around. I can't handle it. They're too awesome. So my name is MK Bedosky. I'm co-founder and head of marketing for Gen City Labs. We are a creative technology studio that builds custom interactive experiences for brands when they are at events, activations, pop-ups, product launches, et cetera. So we'll use tools like AR, VR, AI, Web3, and build custom stories and interactive experiences that drive brand results. So a little bit about me. I have an MBA from the University of North Carolina. I have a background in theater, and I think that really influences why I feel like there's such a need for narrative and story to be a part of these brand activations. So before I go too far, how versed is everyone in all things Metaverse, blockchain, Web3? Who feels like, just nod or shake your head, feels good about understanding blockchain at this point? A little bit? Okay, we got one person. Some people I feel like have kind of put it on the back burner. We'll wait for mass adoption. We'll wait for it to be a bigger thing. I'll learn about it when I need to. And some have jumped right in. So the way I'm going to approach this today is I'm going to try to give a lot of really tangible examples and things that you can look into further if you want to wrap your head around some of these concepts more. And how familiar is anyone with digital collectibles or NFTs? Yeah? Okay, getting more nods. Yes, perfect. So we're going to look at today through the lens of blockchain for loyalty programs syncing into rewards, and layering in Metaverse's experiences into those communities. So there's sort of a lot of concepts that converge together, and I'm going to do my best to stitch them together. So if you are not familiar with the blockchain, and Web3 and the movement behind it, there's some core tenets that exist at the root of it. Decentralization, ownership, composability, personal identity, and self-expression. These are things driving the Web3 movement forward. And these are sometimes things that brands are looking to express and why they'll choose these marketing channels to align to their campaigns. They want to promote self-expression. They want to explore these new frontiers. These are great channels for it. At this point, I'll be completely honest, the blockchain parts are not essential, right? We have off-chain ways of achieving a lot of these things. But as the technology advances, it's becoming really cost-effective and really interoperable, really easy to connect multiple things together across the blockchain. So that's why it's a great thing to learn about now. Again, no one needs to. It's not the only way of achieving some of these goals, but it's a really unique approach to solving some things. So as we apply loyalty and engagement to some of these blockchain activities, it really comes down to what things do you want your consumers to do to earn their level ups? And no telling my design team that I made slides and didn't run and buy them. They're awful, so sorry. But as you think about these things, I almost think of some of the blue boxes and even more ideas as an a la carte menu, picking a handful from these tiles and deciding which ones are going to help you achieve your goals. So let's say you want to drive holiday purchasing in a retail store or pre-sale orders of a new toy or game coming out. You might find that a virtual product launch, a social campaign, a trivia contest or scavenger hunt, different activities could get people excited, educated about the product, and ready to buy. So by taking some of these things, we've developed some software that uses this and social listening to reward people. You're going to set the baseline for, here's the challenges I want you to take on, and then I'm going to reward you for them. And so I think one of the brands that's doing this really, really well right now is Starbucks. I don't know how many people are familiar with the Starbucks Odyssey program, but they're using this upgraded version of their rewards program and exploring a beta version of it on the blockchain, where by going through a learning module and understanding their sustainability practices, their innovative engineering for product development, their ethical sourcing of beans, any of those core things that make Starbucks proud of their product, I go through learning modules. I am rewarded with points and badges. Those are given to me on the blockchain, and I can then go turn around and sell or trade or redeem rewards for those pieces I've collected. So they've done a great job of looking at all the different types of activities and participations and deciding which ones they want to focus on at any given time. So the most recent one they did was a mini game where you had to find pumpkins in an AR pumpkin patch. They continuously are adding new layers to that program. So thinking of the challenges and the actions you want people to take is almost the easy part. I've always struggled with how do you reward people? Or better yet, my budgets has always struggled with how do you reward people. Especially from a marketing perspective, you never want to give up a giant portion of your budget to prizes or products or things. So the best way that I've found to think about this is Holly Firestone's SNAP framework. So breaking it down into these 4 categories of status, networking, access, and perks is a great lens to look at this through. And as you're trying to architect a community of enthusiastic consumers around a product, leveraging each of these in very intentional ways starts to create a really strong foundation for that community. So status pretty much makes sense. I think a lot of us probably have a hotel or an airline status. We feel kind of good about the name they've applied to that. What they back it up with is access and perks. But status in itself, I mean, it's as simple as who's seen on Facebook the top fan badge. You join a new Facebook group, someone with that top fan badge, you're going to take note and go, oh, they are knowledgeable, they've been here a while, they know that added veracity of what they're saying. And I love it even more, I think Reddit does it really well. Different subreddits allow you to use different flair next to your name. So now we're back to that composability thing. I'm in the theater subreddit, and I want to list my favorite shows, and my bio, my persona, who I am in that community is aligned to the status I want people to know that I have. So status is kind of 2 things. It's the leveling up and recognition of those tiers, as well as self-identity and inter-community identity. Networking, really B2B word, but if you strip away the B2B connotations, it's really just about like-minded community members coming together, creating safe spaces for them to discuss their shared fandoms. So that could be creating Facebook groups or chat rooms and things like that. It could also be limited time experiences. If you don't think you have the resources to sustain those perpetually, which a lot of us don't, creating a single special event in the metaverse creates one special time where everyone who is fans of a specific IP or product or whatever comes together. So networking, I think events are a really powerful way to do that. They're time sensitive, there's an urgency behind them, there's a reason to act right now. Access is probably my favorite one on this list, and it's huge. I think of it as like the blank check of Web3, that people don't even fully understand all the value it can provide. It is getting behind the red velvet ropes. It is having first look at things. I spend probably more money than I should admit at Dave & Buster's. I would love it if my status in their app corresponded to just a little bit of extra access to their brand. What if they sent me an email expressing what the next season's products are that'll be debuting in the Points shop? I'm gonna go, I'm gonna earn my tickets because I'm excited that I'm the first to know about those new prizes, or menu items, or first to play the game when it's just being plugged in their play area. So access is about being closer to the brand. Sometimes that's as simple too as giving access to brand representatives through special events. Watch our designers work, watch our creators work, watch the creative process that went behind this thing coming to life. Elevated customer service support falls under access. And I'll go even one step further. When I think about the blockchain and interoperability and these huge abstract concepts, this is the picture that forms in my brain. I think of it like a hotel and a hotel key card. My key card opens my door. It also opens the door to the gym and the pool and the side entrance that closes at 11 p.m. My key card is programmed to do all these things, just like my NFT could be programmed to do multiple things. But let's just say a restaurant opens up next to the hotel and they want to have a speakeasy and they want to drive it for marketing, and they say, anyone who's a guest of this hotel will recognize your hotel key as a key to our speakeasy. And they do that, and it's a good start, but they want to make it bigger. Okay, we'll also recognize hotel key from the hotel 2 blocks away. They're programming that speakeasy door to recognize multiple keys. And so I like to think of this network that forms of all of these doors and all of these keys and the perpetual ability to add more doors and more access points and more value behind these closed doors that people will be delighted to discover. So I think the last piece I'd say about access is designing access with your true fans in mind. That giving access is for your most loyal customers, getting those that are excited. And I say that just because skeptics and trolls come out and will, criticize anything you do. But if you're truly aligned to the core values of your brand and you provide access that mirrors that, you're going to pull closer the fans that matter most. And that's why if we go back, to perks. Perks is the one I'm probably the most cautious about. Perks tend to be the expensive, the products, the do these 3 things that we've prescribed and get a free coffee mug. It gets expensive fast. It gets transactional. It gets, I did these 3 things, give me my thing, and walk away. And so putting more emphasis on access, less emphasis on perks, definitely gets you a stronger foundation, not those people who are thinking, give me my swag so I can leave the booth kind of mentality. So with that, I'll go into a couple of examples of Metaverse brand activations and things that are happening. And with it, I'll just add the asterisks of there is no Metaverse yet. There is no single interoperable Metaverse yet. We'll go through some different things, but think of it as interactive, explorable environments that are growing now and only going to become cooler as we go. So some of the examples I'll give are actually through gaming, but I think they're close enough to the sentiment of Metaverse, and they align to how brands are comfortable rolling out today. So first up, Pudgy Penguins. This is an example that is new as of this week. This is original Web3 intellectual property. These started as NFTs, which gave them their initial funding to grow the brand. Now they are merchandising. They released plushes on Amazon, and now these figurines are on shelves at Walmart. And so the technology they're leveraging is digital twin. Buy the physical figurine, unlock a digital version for Pudgy World. It, to me, kind of makes me feel like I'm back in the 80s with Cabbage Patch dolls and the adoption certificate. Everything old is new again because it becomes a new story as you integrate it. So I think this one shows a lot of opportunity for collaboration. So if we're thinking about the world of doors floating in the universe, say I have a sunglasses brand and I want to partner with Pudgy Penguins. All the penguins that have sunglasses on, let's give them a discount on my products. Things like that can be delivered through the blockchain and delivered really easily to those audiences. Next Metaverse one I'm going to point out is Royal Caribbean. The Icon of the Seas is their ship that is launching in January, I believe. One of the activations they did was created a universe in Fortnite. And I don't know about you, if anyone else is a gamer, I feel like I turn on a gaming environment and everything seems impossibly larger than life. Ceilings and cathedrals are huge in games, but now you're telling a gamer, you just explored that cruise ship. That slide is that massive. And so they went where families play in Fortnite, in gaming, and they delivered this experience psychologically aligned to play and vacation and family time. And kids were going to their parents saying, I want to be on that. The Icon of the Seas ended up breaking Royal Caribbean records for pre-sales through having activations like this all spring long. It was selling out months ahead of their average ship launch. Next one, I'll say this one's really special to me. I listened to the CMO of Claire's talk about this activation, that they target Gen Zalpha, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, youth, and the composability of identity is so critical. The ability to self-express. I mean, that's what a Claire's store is, accessorizing, layering, making yourself who you want to be. But as we all know from them in malls, their store is approximately that big and every square inch of retail space is taken up. The metaverse gave them boundless opportunity, where they can have a Claire's Cafe where rainbow sparkle unicorn frappuccino kind of drinks exist that mirror the same sentiment of their brand, expand their brand presence, created a really safe space for kids, allowed them to identify and self-explore in a really cool way. I celebrate these values 100%, and this was built through Roblox game. And I'll also add the last, one of their features they have there is avatar pets. As soon as I hear that, my brain goes back to Tamagotchi. Same thing, everything old is new again. The fundamentals are there, and it's just about telling a different story in a different way. So this one is a metaverse platform, Trueverse. I'll say its target demographic is millennial male. So it might not be the best for every toy example, but what they really do well is build physical products into virtual world. So they work a lot with automotive brands and create ways for you to see and demo a product in a luxury environment, change the color of the car, sit down, and the dashboard is fully rendered. It's a really great example of a multi-person experience, the kind of place you would go where you would maybe host a live event, a launch event, a party, a reveal. And one of the things that's kind of cool about it, and is another vendor I'll point towards, is Ready Player Me. So we've talked about the fact that there's no interoperable metaverse yet. They are close of having interoperable avatars. If you build a Ready Player Me character, accessorize it, design your assets to be used in that system, it is compatible across multiple metaverse platforms. Different platforms are saving time on development by saying, bring that character in and then I don't have to do that step. So Ready Player Me is, I think, a really cool thing to explore from the perspective of avatar and personal identity development. And the last one I'll point out, Nissan Virtual Heisman House, another digital twin example, creating the Nissan Heisman House campaign is a physical house where the ex-college football players go and create content. They created a digital version with mini games inside. This year they layered on, and this is what we're working with them with, is the NFT loyalty program parts, the idea of unlocking badges. Those badges, when used at IRL events, going to an actual stadium where Nissan is activating, getting escalated access front of the line into their activations, things like that. So my takeaways on this are that loyalty programs and incentivized engagement strategies are layers that can be added to marketing campaigns. They can expand the reach digitally. They can be about personalization. They can be about celebrating the values of your brand. And they can be adaptable for something long-lasting, something that you're building a foundation for, or as short as a sprint, a single event, a single season, a single product launch can all be scaled with a short-term loyalty program, a short-term community support plan, a short-term metaverse activation. And with that, I think I'm done. I am heading over there for questions, I believe. I will apologize. I'm going to put a mask on before I talk to everyone. I'm getting married on Friday, so I'm not risking any germs. But thank you, and I appreciate you all being here.